Imagine a world where fairness reigns, the planet heals, and no one is left behind in the fight for a sustainable future. But as we gear up for the Chancellor's budget announcement on November 26th and the outcomes from COP30, the major global climate discussions in Brazil wrapping up on November 21st, we're confronted with tough choices. What kind of society do we truly desire? And who foots the bill? These pivotal moments unfold amid stark disparities, where the wealthiest individuals and corporations, like fossil fuel giants, amass even greater fortunes, while the disadvantaged bear the brunt of hardship. And this is the part most people miss: how our tax systems could be the key to bridging that gap, promoting equality, and safeguarding our environment. From a Christian standpoint, we hold that God fashioned a beautiful world where each individual possesses intrinsic value and deserves respect. We're urged to extend love to our neighbors, whether they're down the street or across the globe. One practical way to live this out is by ensuring our tax contributions reflect our financial standing, and by nurturing the earth to shield vulnerable populations from the worsening impacts of climate change. Fair taxation and environmental stewardship are deeply intertwined. So let's examine how the budget might influence climate equity. Keep an eye on potential updates to housing upgrades like retrofits and heat pumps, which could face cuts, renewable energy funding, road toll adjustments, and initiatives to lower energy costs. But here's where it gets controversial. A lesser-discussed aspect of the budget that could pave the way for a more eco-friendly tomorrow lies in our tax policies. Let's dive into the polluter pays principle, a straightforward idea that those causing environmental harm should cover the cleanup costs. Globally, this means wealthier nations that have polluted more over time should support funds for loss and damage in countries reeling from severe weather events, a topic likely to be debated at COP30. Within the UK, we can apply this by imposing taxes on the colossal earnings of energy firms. Since the energy turmoil began, these companies have raked in over £125 billion from their UK activities. Unprecedented gains while household bills skyrocketed, fueling both the affordability crisis and ecological challenges. To put it in perspective, that's equivalent to about £878 per family annually. Meanwhile, the typical yearly energy expenditure has jumped from £1,042 in 2020 to £1,755 now, after hitting peaks in early 2023. Shockingly, the sector is pushing to eliminate the current energy profits levy in the budget, potentially costing the Treasury £6 billion. Instead, authorities should stand strong, levy these outsized profits, reduce consumer prices, and funnel the funds into green initiatives. But is this approach equitable, or does it unfairly target successful businesses? I'd love to hear your take. Does polluter pays level the playing field, or could it stifle innovation? On a personal level, governments might introduce sin taxes targeting activities with high carbon footprints. These not only generate income, but also deter environmentally harmful habits, creating a win-win whether they yield substantial revenue or curb emissions effectively. Think levies on private jets, frequent traveler fees, luxury yachts, and even space tourism ventures. Such measures would primarily affect the ultra-wealthy, unlike broad carbon taxes that might disproportionately burden lower-income drivers. For instance, a tax on private jets could discourage elite travel while funding cleaner alternatives, illustrating how targeted fees can promote sustainability without widespread hardship. Ultimately, implementing a foundational wealth tax could be a climate-positive move. A person in the top 0.1% of global wealth might produce more daily carbon emissions through their lifestyle and holdings than the bottom half of humanity combined in an entire year. We're advocating for a 2% levy on assets exceeding £10 million, as we detailed in a prior piece, a crucial measure for reducing UK disparities. This could also curb the extravagant carbon use of the elite, with the trillions raised helping construct a more balanced, eco-conscious society. The decisions Chancellor Rachel Reeves makes aren't merely about balancing books. They shape the UK's collective identity. Taxing wealth isn't punitive or arbitrary. It's about fostering a more equitable nation with a pristine, sustainable horizon. It's progress toward caring for our fellow humans and enabling everyone to thrive with honor. Ready to act? Reach out to your MP via email to champion wealth taxation in the upcoming budget. https://justmoney.eaction.online/wealth tax. Visit www.justmoney.org.uk for more on our Just Money movement. What are your thoughts on using taxes as a tool for climate justice? Do you agree that the rich should bear more responsibility, or is this an overreach that could hinder economic growth? Is there a controversial angle we've missed, like the potential for such taxes to drive wealth offshore? Share your opinions in the comments below. We'd love to spark a discussion